Hey y'all, and welcome back to Wine About It. Thank you for joining into our next episode of Am I Doing This Right? Which is really just a series about motherhood, about parenthood, about all things when it comes to parenting. So today we have my baby sis Kay, and she is heavily a part of my support system. And so we're going to have her just speak from her experience and from her point of view of helping a teen mom and a single mom and just being part of my support system in general. So as I previously stated, we lean heavily, and by we I mean moms, heavily on our support system, and you are my support sis. So I wanted to talk to you about the whole like mother-sister thing, right? So mommy has always called me that when it comes to you because she's like, you're a sister, but you're her mama too, because we be tag teaming. We call it teamwork. So I wanted to talk to you about the term mother-sister. Like, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like you've now taken on kind of that role to help me with Demarius.
I feel like it definitely fits because, like, let's say, like, if I'm doing something and there's more support or help that's needed, you're the first person to step in other than mom, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and I felt like when I was little with mom working at night, it was always you at home with me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like another mother than me. I don't think I'm a mother-sister to Demarius, just because, like, well, like, yeah, we're together all the time, but it's not, like, every day.
Yeah.
And I feel like the things that you are doing is more motherly. I feel like I'm his aunt. I just happen to be there a lot.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean by that, because like y'all play video games together and like you're definitely his aunt. I feel like for me, I consider you like mother sister, but I also get the difference. But he is your nephew and you are my sister, so like the relationship is different, period. So I get what you're saying, but I definitely be like, nah, that's my sister, because when it comes to projects, school projects, I can't do nothing. I supply the supplies. That's it. What do you need from me? That's it. Like, I just give you what you need, and it be them two going in with it. I don't got to do nothing when it comes to that, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So that's why I consider you that. But I definitely wanted to get your opinion on like how you feel about it, because like if you hated it, he definitely didn't tell me. Now's a good time to talk about it. But I also want to talk about with you still being our support system, like, what advice would you give somebody else who's in the same position as you, or somebody similar who's just, part of their support system?
I would say just be there for the person, even if you think, oh, well, they can get somebody else to do it, or even if you don't feel like it is helping them. That's why they're asking you. And yeah, they're trusting you and leaning on you. So I feel like even if you like don't want to do it, like in the long run, you're probably gonna look at it and regret it and not be like, oh, well, I should have. But you already did it. So there's not really many times in your life where you're like, oh, well, I shouldn't have did that. Usually you're like, I should have. So yeah.
So I like that you said that too, right? But then I also want to get your opinion, because one thing my therapist had me working on is boundaries, right? So like you have to set boundaries with people, but like, would you tell me like you asked me for too much?
I feel like, yeah, like just the other day when we were going to use the Cricut, but then we were going to watch a movie and then we were going to do this, like, I'm not a very, like, oh, I'm going to tell you, but, like, if it's really, like, I know I have to do something, like, then I will. And I feel like if it is too much, like, I will be like, hey, like, so, like, I need some time to myself. Yeah. But, yeah, I feel like I would, even though, like, sometimes it's difficult for me to be like, okay, no. Yeah. But I would.
Okay. No, that was a good example, because the other day I was like, we can have movie night, and then Taisha was like, well, let's do the cricket. And I was like, okay, like, we'll have a little cricket party, all this stuff. And Caitlin was like, I have a project due, like, we can do one or the other, but I can't swing both. Like, let's just pick one. And that was like a really good boundary to set, because like, obviously I don't know. Like, you gotta just tell me. I'm fine with you being like, no. Okay. My feelings ain't hurt, like, we good. But I think that's an important part, to just be like, hey, like, I want to be a part, I want to hang out, I want to do these things, but like, I gotta make some time for me too. I gotta get my stuff done also. So that's a really good point. So another thing that I wanted to talk about was you wrote an article about me and it made me cry. Happy tears, of course, but like, it was so cute. I was like, it was so funny because as I was reading it, when she was little, I would always say, books before boys because boys bring babies, right? Like, me being a teen mom, clearly I don't want that for you. Like, that was my journey, not yours. So, like, let's separate that. Let's keep that separate. And I would always tell her that, but I had no idea that, like, as she got older, that she remembered that, and I was like, oh my God. But, you were really just, like, highlighting, like, my views on teen parenthood and, like, me being a teen mom and things like that. But, like, what made you write the article about me?
Okay, so I remember, like, sitting in class, and then she was like, we're going to write a profile. And pretty much what a profile is, you are making an essay, but you're interviewing someone, but you have to include that interview into your essay. You have to combine those two. And she was just like, it can be with anyone, like somebody... if it's a career you want to go to, like that, or somebody that's inspirational to you, or like, and like, I don't really have many people that I'm like, oh, like they inspire me, or like in my career field, because like, I'm not sure what I want to do. So then when I'm like, well, who has an interesting story? Like my sister. And like, I picked somebody that I admire because obviously like, I didn't go through that, and I feel like it's not talked about a lot. And since it's not talked about a lot and has pretty negative surroundings around it, I felt like I needed to like change that and just write about something that I knew, one, that I wouldn't get bored writing about, and somebody that I cared about. So that's why I chose you and about your teen pregnancy, because it's a good story to share, because not only, it's not like you got pregnant and then like you just stopped. It's like you kept on going and you're still doing stuff. So I felt like that was really good. And I enjoyed writing it. Like while I was writing it, like I really had a time to like reflect and see, well, what do I remember? Yeah. And like listening to the interview and saying like, well, how can I incorporate this? And try to like look through it through your eyes, rather than me just like, oh, I have to write this paper. Like I wanted to make sure like it was good and it was fluent, and I did like respect to it, because it is like a sensitive topic. So.
Yeah. No, that's really good. That you like really wanted to like shed some light on something that's not really talked about, or that's not talked about positively. I think when people, they have this misconception, right? That like, if I'm saying you did so well as a teen mom, that I'm promoting it, or that I'm like advocating for it, and it's like, no, I wouldn't. I'm not doing that. But like at the same time, it's like, it's okay to be like, but you did so good. Like you're doing so well for yourself. That doesn't mean that I'm saying everybody should do this. That's not it. But the people that are doing it should feel like, well, I can do that too, or like I can change things around, and like I can do all these great things too. And I just feel like my life is bigger than me. Like, it's not about me. Like, I clearly, like, it was about Demarius too. And it's just like everything that we've gone through and that we've accomplished is like all God. Like, I don't do this to be like, and I did that. It's like God be like, let's do this. Like, for real? Okay. And then there are people who like, I don't even have kids and you inspire me. And I'm like, because that's God. Like, somebody needed to see that. Somebody needed to hear it. Somebody needed to be like, all right, cool, let's pick this up, let's keep going, and you know, let's not give up. So I think that was really sweet, guys. That was really sweet. So yeah, that was one thing I wanted to talk about, because I feel like that really made a difference in like my life too, because I was like, oh, that made me feel so good, because you don't always know how people view you. You know what I mean? Like, we don't sit around and be like, girl, today, mommy, like we don't do that. So it's not like, I'm very proud of you today, like you did good on that essay, like, and I feel like we definitely should like talk more. Like, I mean, we have a good relationship, but like I feel like when it comes to that kind of stuff, we all should be better, like in general, with like uplifting everybody or those around us, and just being like, hey, I'm proud of you. And there are so many silent battles people go through that you have no idea about. Sometimes it's worth it to just tell somebody like, hey, I'm proud of you. I don't know how hard it was for you to get out of bed this morning. Like, I'm proud of you, because maybe it was really in your head today and you just really needed to hear that. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's definitely something that shed some good light on that, and just like overall positivity. Yeah, so I love that,
because I feel like I'm not very good at like saying like words, or like expressing like if I'm proud of somebody, like just saying that. Like I'm better at doing it like that was for an assignment, so it's like, well, I really get to say what I want to say, because I'm not really a person to like go out and just say it. So it was kind of like I got to I got to write like how I view you. and like how you affected me and your story.
Yeah. I do feel like that's something we should talk about more though. Like in general. Like not to make people uncomfortable, not to make you uncomfortable, but like I feel like I wasn't always like that with you either. I wasn't always like, hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, you mean so much to me. But I feel like over the years I've gotten better because I also know part of your love language is words of affirmation, I think.
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
I'm not bringing that up now. It's so changed. But like I try to do more of that now because I'm aware of that. So like I know that now. So I try to be more conscious about being like, hey, have a good day. I love you. It's Friday. You doing it. You that girl. Remember that. Like I try to do that, but I feel like we also should do that with ourselves because the amount of times we don't get out the bed and just look in the mirror and be like, I'm that girl. I'm really like that. Like you gotta just tell yourself like, I'm so proud of you. Like, because a lot of how we feel, a lot of our lives periods comes from our childhood. And a lot of our adulthood, at least my generation, is healing that inner child, that inner teen, that inner whatever that was just like neglected or not feeling great or whatever. And so you get to a point where you have to look at yourself and be like, I'm proud of you. Like, you got out of bed this morning. You took a shower? 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You did that. So I feel like we should not only do that for ourselves, but for our people. So we have to be more comfortable to just be like, proud of you.
Yeah.
You did so good today by waking up. I love that for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you feel like could have been different in your childhood? It's a loaded question.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember it. I have like little snippets of my childhood, but it's like musically, and it's like riding my bike outside or like going to the pool. Like, I don't think there's anything I would have done differently or like that I wish would have gone better. Because I feel like if something would have gone better, like, if I would have asked for like, I had like 2 parents in a house and stuff like that, that would have changed my life completely. And I feel like I like who I am, so I don't think I would change anything.
We like who you are too. Alright, so do you have any questions for me?
I do, and I wrote them down.
Oh Lord.
Okay. This one is easy. So I feel like everybody says this question, but it's a little bit more to it. So it's like, if everything in your house was on fire.
Yes.
You got out all your loved ones, all your pets, everybody's fine.
Okay.
But you get one last chance to go back into the house and grab something. What would you grab?
My first thought was my MacBook because I do work on that, but I have insurance on that, so like let it burn, you know. I'd probably I don't make everything sentimental. I'd probably go back and get grandma's picture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like if I didn't grab that the first time on the way out, that and like the flowers she wore when she was in the hospital, like those would be like one big swoop.
Yeah.
That'll be the first thing I grab.
Yeah.
What would you grab?
I'd probably have my phone in my hand, and I don't know, I'd probably grab like something stupid because like, I don't know, like I probably wouldn't even go back in. Like I'd be like, that was enough.
Can you anything?
I don't know. I don't think I'd grab anything. Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So when was the last time you did something for the first time?
The last time I did something for the first time. I did something for the first time. I took a solo trip for my birthday last year. That was the last time I did something for the first time. I've never taken, I didn't go to Houston by myself. Like I traveled by myself, but I like met up with my sister. I'm gonna say the solo trip because I was in the freaking woods by myself like a dummy. Whole solo trip. But that trip lasted a day and a half. I ended up getting a hotel the very next day and staying there for like 2 or 3 nights. I will never go to the woods. I'm black. I don't even know. I don't know. But yeah, that was probably,
Yeah, that's fair.
Any more questions?
Yeah. So far in your life, what was like your best phase?
My best phase?
Yeah.
honestly, I'm probably gonna say right now.
Okay.
Because I feel like work is good, my business is good, my kid is happy, my family is good.
Yeah. And
I feel like this is the first time that, like, those are the only things that I'm really focused on. Like, for the first time in my life, I'm not dating. And I never knew how I was going to feel about that because I've always just been kind of like a move on quick, like, whatever.
Cannot be me. Cannot be me.
Hey, let me tell you something. You can't get gone, baby. And it's not that I was always looking for that. You know, it would just kind of flow.
Yeah.
But I'm at this point in my life now where it's like, I've stopped that, like, intentionally, like, on purpose, stopped that. And I'm just like, I'm just about what's going on here with Jaida and my family and business and everything. And I feel like things are good. Yeah. Like, I feel good. Like, you know, there are some moments you have and there are some days
you don't
like,
fix something that's not broke.
Exactly. And so I feel like, which gives me peace that this is where I need to be. Yeah. Because when God tells you to be somewhere, if you have all types of strife and what? If you, wait a minute. Mommy, be quiet. If you have a bunch of strife and, like, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, confusion and just, like, it's miscombobulated and it's just, it don't sit right with you. Yeah. You know that's not God. I have so much peace where I am. Yeah. Even if, you know, things are different for me and sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, like I have those moments, but overall I feel great. So I'm definitely say right here, right now. What about you?
The best phase, I'd say probably like middle school, maybe like 7th grade.
Okay.
I feel like that was the best phase so far in my life, just because I wasn't really worried about anything, and it was kind of like I was just living life. Like, it was great, but then like as I got older, there's like more things to do and there's more pressure. So I feel like that was like my best phase, because like my last time I was like, oh well, I'm not gonna worry about nothing. I'm just living it up.
Literally. Okay. Any more questions?
I have one more.
Okay.
So what do you spend too much time doing and not enough time doing?
Too much time doing and not enough time doing.
Yeah.
I probably spend too much time. Where I am right now, I'm going to say TikTok. Me, probably like even a month ago, would have said work. Because between work and the business, that's always where my brain goes first. Yeah. But I've learned to set a boundary with that. And like when I shut it down for the weekend, it's shut down for the weekend. That's it. Like I'm not picking it up. I don't care how bored I am. We're not working. Because then my brain just goes and goes and goes. I'm going to say TikTok. I probably spend too much time on TikTok and watching Netflix because I'm catching up on All American. Not enough time doing. I would probably say self-care. And I don't even mean that in the sense of like massages and like doing my hair and all that kind of stuff, because I'm gonna make time for that anyway. But like really pouring into myself. So like even if you have alone time, I feel like it can be idle, and I feel like I need to spend more time like with Jaida. Just Jaida and Jaida. Like, okay, who are you, Jaida? You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I would say. What would you say?
I think I spend too much time worrying. Like, I worry about everything. And
Do you really?
Yeah, and I don't, like, spend enough time, like, living in the moment and just being like, oh, I'm doing this. Like, it's gonna be fine. Like, I feel like I worry about everything and I'm like, oh my gosh, how is this gonna affect me in the future? Yeah. Like, the snowball effect. Like, I think about that instead of, like, just living, like, in the moment.
Yeah. I definitely say it's hard to live in the present. That is very true. But I feel like sometimes when life hits you hard, it'll set you back and then you'll like start living in the present. Like I feel like that was definitely one thing. Here I go being sentimental with grandma. Like it was like I never thought she would leave in this earth. What is going on right now? Yeah. And it was like after she passed, I was like, like I really need to be in the moment. Like, cause I spent probably an hour the last day I spent with her working. Why? I mean, I had no idea that was her last day. Like, but like had I been in the moment, like maybe we would have cracked some more jokes. Maybe it just would have been funnier today. Like maybe if I wasn't so focused on how I'm getting this money today, it would have been another laugh that I have in my memories, you know? So it's hard to live in the present sometimes, but like, you're so young.
Yeah.
Live in the present because you're never gonna get this time back. And I mean, I wish I could redo high school, but then my life would be completely different. Obviously. But like, if it was up to me, like I told you, I watched All American Homecoming, and I'm like, what would my life have looked like if I had like gone to an HBCU and just been a kid? You know, like Simone on the show had a baby, but she gave him up for adoption. And so, like, he came to visit her, and she still got to, like, be a mom, and, like, but she got to be a kid, you know? So, like, I really want you to, you know. But maybe, I mean, what do you think would help? Like, do you journal?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like sometimes it's hard to figure out. Like, you really have to try new things to figure out, like, if it's gonna work, because, like...
I feel like it just has to happen.
Yeah, because how else would you know? Yeah, I get that. Those were good questions.
Oh, is that what that was? Yeah.
That was the last one.
Yeah. Actually, I had a little more.
Okay.
What's your, this is actually a kind of difficult question because I think, like, you have to think back on all the things, but what's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret? Men.
Oh. That was close to mine. I was going to say messing with an Aquarius man.
Aquarius is bold, sis. Bold. They're crazy. Oh, Lord. It's okay. I've been involved with one, too. But he wasn't the stereotype of Aquarius man, so... I'm so sorry. They're actually horrible. Yeah, I definitely would say men, just in general. And I mean, everything happened as it should have because... Like, I wouldn't be where I am today without, like, all of my relationships. But, like, in general, if they really would have just left me alone, I never entertained any of them. I mean, every single one. I think I would be fine. I think I would be fine. I don't have any, like, regrets, though. Like, Demarius needed to be here. I don't regret him. I needed to buy a new car, and I bought a new car. You know, I love being a homeowner. There are some days when I'm like, I have to fix that. But, like...
Yeah.
I have a new construction house, so thank God. It's not like too many times I have that moment, but I don't think I have anything that I regret. Do you have any regrets?
No, other than the one that you...
The Aquarius?
That was actually... that was so bad. Like, I wouldn't recommend that to anybody.
Everybody said it. That was
literally,
so
the devil, he said, actually, I'm not doing enough. Let me send somebody your way.
I feel that way about Pisces men.
Really? I don't know if I've ever
met a Pisces man that was a good human. And not even just from my own experience. I mean, like, my friends, every Pisces man I know is absolute trash.
Really?
Every single one.
I don't think I've ever met.
I remember I went on a date with one. He asked me to go on, like, a coffee date. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, it's simple. It's cute. It's daytime. Like, cool. It was fine. It was fun. Girl, why I didn't get him to find out he was married?
That's actually so crazy.
What's your favorite sign?
My favorite sign? Probably Sagittarius.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite sign.
Like for men and women, or just you get along great with Sagittarius.
Yeah, I just love to laugh. And like I get along with them a lot.
Yeah, they're always a good time. I feel like you're bound to laugh with a Sagittarius, and Capricorns are always the life of the party. Like you're never gonna have a dull moment with a Capricorn.
Yeah.
Never.
Do I have a least favorite?
My favorite is Leos. Not for men. For women, I get along with Leo women great. Most of my friends are Leo women. I'm also a Leo moon. But for men, no, I don't have a favorite.
Oh, maybe that's why Sagittarius is my favorite. I'm a Sagittarius man.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why. They're like, not secretly you, but like you're secretly them.
Yeah.
Like y'all really just click. Cause like, kind of the same.
Like you think just like me.
Literally. Literally. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. I'm so grateful for my baby sis being here. And I want to tell you, you're amazing. I'm so proud of the young woman that you are becoming. Like, you're dope. I just need you to know that. You are so beautiful inside and out. And I appreciate you for everything that you do. And just for you being you, girl. Because I don't want you to grow up your whole life. And I just want to say that I love you and thank you for being here.
I love you too. Thank you.
Bye.
As far as you worrying, when I worry about stuff a lot, oftentimes I would say to myself, "There's always someone worse off than you." Like, not to like put them down.
See, and I feel like I've tried to do that, but sometimes that doesn't work for me, and just is because like I'm so young. So like, I don't know. I feel like when you're older, like there's more things that have happened in your life, so it's easier to say like, "Oh, well, somebody else has it worse for me." For some reason, I'm like, that doesn't work for me. Like, I'm like, yeah, they like.
So, one thing I'll say, not to cut you off, is I literally just got this reminder yesterday, which I needed because I was worrying about something. And one girl on TikTok, she was like, God says, cast your cares. Like, mommy's over here giving us some wisdom, y'all. Cast your cares on me because I care for you. I don't want you to worry. And so what put it into perspective for me was a lot of times she was like, we'll go to God about something and we'll take it with us. That's not what he wants us to do. And I was like, that part. So when I go to God, and I talk to God like I talk to people, I'd be like, hey God, so listen. This is how I feel about this today. And like, for real, I'm going to give it to you because I ain't got it. I don't even know why I was holding on to it, but I ain't got it. And so my whole thing is when that happened to me yesterday, I was like, I'm going to talk to you about it because prayer is talking to God. And I'm leaving it with you. I'm leaving it right here. You take it. I'm not even asking you. I'm telling you right now, this belongs to you. This ain't got nothing to do with me, sir. So, respectfully, I'm going to say how I feel. I'm going to get it out. And then I'm giving it to you. I'm not worrying about it no more. And it'll still pop up in my head. And I'll be like, God, I gave it to you. That's what pops in my head next. God, I gave it to you. You have it. God, I gave it to you. And so, one thing I heard Steve Harvey say was prayer is talking to God, meditation is listening to God. So I'll pray about it. God, I'm giving it to you, and then I'll meditate for a few minutes. Because, it's not easy to just be like, all right, cool, let it go.
Yeah.
No, still thinking about it. So, like, I'll pray, and I'll be like, all right, God, this is how I feel. This was on my mind. And I don't know. I don't know what to do, but I'm giving it to you because I ain't got it, and you made me, so clearly you got it, so you have it. And then I'll meditate for a few minutes. And even if it's worship music, or if it's just meditation music, or if it's just some sort of sound that I can repeat and breathe through for like 5 minutes. And I'll be like, all right. But I think it's also a test, like, are you really going to give it to him? Yeah. Are you going to stop worrying about it? Because he got it. Yeah. I promise you he got it. Yes. Let him have it. He want it. He want it. And I'll be like, and clearly you do. Because if you made me and I'm worried about it, this ain't got nothing to do with me. And like, I had to remind myself when I went to church the other day, people was like, a lot of us are losing our minds about things God has already done for us before. Yeah. Duh. And I'm like, if you got me out of the situation before, what am I even worried about? What am I thinking about? It's you the same guy. If you got me through something difficult before, why am I even still thinking about this? Like, but you have to like give yourself those reminders. Yeah. So like one thing I do now is like I have affirmations right next to my bed, and as soon as I get up, I have to be like, even if I say it like, my worth is about everything of who I am, and I don't have the energy to give it like I would on the days where I feel like I'm that girl. I gotta pour it into myself because otherwise everything else is pouring into me, and I can't have that. Like,
yeah, I used to have it. I used to write sticky notes and put it on my mirror, and I would have it there. But I recently took them down because I gotta like start